it wasn't trying to hurt me. It was trying to leave. And I was like, no, don't leave. I was like, well, why are you staying? Because I'm the one holding it here.
Yeah.
But that
Oh my God, I relate to that so much.
I was literally upset it wasn't leaving. But at the same time, I was holding it there unconsciously.
Yeah.
And why was I unconsciously holding it there? Because I was attached to the storyline.
Yeah.
And then when I just let go of the storyline and it then removed myself and created the space, whew, I saw everything in a whole different light. Hi, guys. We are your hosts, Lori
And Shenisse, certified spiritual life coaches, and we're so glad you're here. Welcome to the Unconscious Days series, a series here on Branching In where we talk about unconscious days.
Yes, and we'd also love it if you guys could just take a moment, hit like and subscribe. It means a lot to us to have your support as we continue to spread more self-awareness. So, you guys, this is part 5 of the Unconscious Day series. And today we are going to talk about our unconscious attachments to the roles we play and the stories that we tell ourselves.
I'm so excited for this episode, Lori. We've had so many conversations around this topic, so love that we're doing an episode on it.
Yes, exciting.
Yeah.
So, what does it mean to be attached to a role or a storyline, Shenisse?
Yes. So we unconsciously identify as the role we play. For example, when we start a sentence by saying am, we end up getting attached to the word that follows. So I am a mom, right? I am a daughter, a musician, etc. Plug in whatever that word is for you.
Yes, yes. And over time, this constructed self image solidifies, and we come to believe that this is who we are. However, this I, the collection of names and the personal history, is a conditioned identity, not our true essence.
Yes, because any attachment or identification, it comes from the ego. The ego creates a sense of separateness and the illusion of a fixed, limited self, right? So, for example, the ego thrives on repetitive thoughts and conditions beliefs that reinforces its sense of self, such as labeling people or experiences as good or bad, or clinging to the familiar, even if it causes suffering.
Yeah. Yeah, Shanice, this makes me think of like the analogy of like the movie analogy. So, I chose this experience and I'm playing a role. I'm acting out in a movie this role of Lori. I'm a mom. I'm a business owner. I'm acting out this role in a movie I'm playing. And I'm trying to, learn different experiences and I'm playing these, different storylines. But so I do need to have somewhat attachment. Like if I watch a movie, I'm watching the actor for it to become believable. I have to believe that they're what they say they are in the movie, which is what I'm doing, right? So I have to be attached to my role. But there is a bit of when I'm too attached and I don't remember that this is a movie. So like when I'm watching a movie, I might cry because I'm lost in the movie when I'm
Yeah.
watching the movie, right?
Yes.
Or I'm like, oh, I'm so mad and I'm so upset. I'm watching the movie, oh, the bad guy. Oh my gosh, because I'm attached to the role, right? I'm fully attached. Even when I read a book, same thing. I'm attached. But then after I remove myself, that was just a movie. It's not real. That's the same way I think of is when I get too attached, when I start taking things too extreme, too emotional, too attached, too upset. I have to remove that, and go, okay, I'm just playing this storyline. I'm just playing this role temporarily as a human, which we all know that we are temporarily human. And we created these roles to learn different experiences and different lessons. But it's not who I am. Just like those actors in the movie, Shanice, that's not who they are. They're
Yeah.
playing that for our entertainment.
Yeah, it's such a delicate balance between like being in it, being like really being immersed in our human roles, my role as a mom and daughter and sister and a coach, like all of these things, being immersed in it while not getting so attached that I lose myself in it.
Exactly.
It is such a delicate balancing act.
Exactly. It's like you do need the attachment. So, you can get the emotion from what you're trying to experience, but not to the point that it causes so much suffering, losing sleep and heartache.
Yeah.
So that just leads me right into Shanice, where we go when we're unconsciously attached to our roles and storylines. Where do we go?
Yeah. And I mean, this is where we experience anxiety, stress. We feel like we're stuck in it and we can't move. Especially when you're unconsciously attached. You don't even know that you're attached to it at all. Like, I didn't even know that I was anything besides my roles or storylines for the longest time. I did not have that knowledge. So, completely moving and going about my life unconsciously attached
Oh,
to all of my human identities.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know, you talk about, anxiety and stress. That is my biggest cue that I am overly attached to this temporary role that I'm acting is when I have so much anxiety, when I'm so stressed and I'm really suffering, a little bit of it, okay. But when the intensity and the frequency and the duration stay taking me over,
Mhm.
I know I am completely attached to my storyline, whatever it is, whatever I'm experiencing, whether it be the storyline, whether it be the character, whatever I'm attached to, that is what's causing this extreme amount of suffering. And that's my really cue to like step back. And like I use that in movie analogy and step back and detach
Mhm.
and remind myself, go back to consciousness because these obviously are very unconscious, but it really triggers me to get conscious when I am overly suffering.
Yeah. Yes. No, agreed. I have found that for myself too. And what really helps, like you said, reminding yourself, I use my breath to
Yeah.
remind myself, like, hey, just take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And that always helps to kind of just ground me back into the present moment when I see that I'm getting lost in my storyline.
Yeah. Well, and do you notice that it's also really easy to detect is where we have resistance, wherever that resistance is showing up, where it's like, we're trying to go through a closed door, we're resisting what is there. That's when you find that piece of resistance, you'll find that you've become the actor,
Yeah.
you're literally immersed in your role. You are the actor now. I am, you know what I mean? Versus removing yourself and observing from above.
Yes.
You're in the eye, you're the actor, and you have all of this resistance because it has to go this way because, again, you are the actor.
Yeah. And one thing I will say that kept me stuck in that for the longest time is I would experience an emotion and then my mind immediately wants to turn it into a story like, oh, well, you're feeling this because of this, this, and this, which actually suppresses the raw energy of what I'm actually feeling. The mind actually hijacks the experience, shifting into analysis rather than embodiment. So instead of allowing sadness or anger or fear to really be felt, my mind wants to intellectualize it, which actually pushes it further away and then it just remains unresolved.
Yeah. I think that's very common for most of us to do that. And again, very unconscious.
Yeah. And it's understandable because we want to understand our emotions, right?
Right.
And so the best way to understand it is to give it a story. But like I just said, that actually suppresses the emotion. So the best way is to really just be present with it and feel it without attaching any kind of story to it.
Story to it, yeah. Yeah, and Shanice, by doing that, we don't get what the story came to teach us because we're too attached. So, just what you're talking about, we're just too close to it.
Yeah.
And so, for us to properly receive the lesson, we need to step away and create that distance.
Yeah.
And that's what will help by, that detachment.
Yeah. We were just having this conversation, Lori, and I was sharing with you how I had so many stories attached to different experiences from my childhood. And having let a lot of those stories go, it's just amazing the changes that it has brought to my life. Because looking back, I just know, like, I no longer have such a negative connotation attached to everything that I experienced. I now know without a doubt that my soul chose all of those experiences, and that it has made me into who I am today. And so now, instead of playing the same tired story, I just look back with joy because I'm like, oh my God, how beautiful that I went through those experiences because look how much they've served me. And so truly like letting go of the story has like freed up so much of my life force energy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can yeah. It's huge. It's huge that letting go of the storyline and the things that we tell ourselves will free up a lot of space.
Yeah.
So, Shanice, where we go when we're fully conscious, and let's talk about some of the things that where we go when we're fully conscious and detached from the story. Like, why are we talking about this? Why is it so important that we snap out of the unconsciousness from time to time? Because, we're not going to always be conscious.
Yeah.
When we do snap out, it's the benefit is let's talk about why that's so cool to become conscious and detached from the story from time to time.
Well, like I was just saying, since I have detached from my storylines, I now have that awareness that pain is beneficial for me.
Yeah,
Like it helps me evolve, but I needed to detach first to see that. Because
yeah,
when you're in the storyline, when you're attached to that, oh my God. I mean, there's no way. There's no way to create enough space to see that truth. You really need to detach first.
yeah. Yeah. And like I was saying earlier, this resistance, when you detach, you remove resistance. And when you remove resistance, for me, I remove judgment. So a lot of that resistance is judgment and they work hand in hand. So that frees that up. It opens that space up.
Yes.
Shanice, what I've really come to emotionalize is we don't get what this story came to teach us because we're too attached and we're too close to it. And I can think of an example in my own life where I did not get what the story came to teach me for a long time because I was so attached. I was in a relationship with someone and I was really attached to wanting to work this out and to be with him. And it wasn't working out and it was very emotionally and physically abusive. I got stuck in a couple stories. I got stuck in the story of I'm a victim. I got stuck in, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing this to me. How could you do this to me? This is horrible and stuck in the emotion and the pain and completely so attached to why is this happening to me? Why are you doing this to me? I was so attached to that I couldn't get past that. And then obviously there's other storylines I was attached like why isn't this working? Something must be wrong with me. So this was an example of how I was immersed in my story and too close to it. So in order for me to receive the lesson, which the lesson for me in that particular storyline was boundaries,
Mhm.
but I could not see that while I was there attached to the storyline because my storyline was pain. My storyline was victim. My storyline was why me. My storyline was I can't believe this isn't working out and I want this to work out. And I had tons of resistance to it. But then once I did get the lesson and, switch the perspective and see what it came to teach me, I let go because that's what it was supposed to do. And I allowed it to go, which it was trying to do, and I was the one resisting it going. It wasn't trying to hurt me, it was trying to leave, and I was like, "No, don't leave." I was like, "Well, why are you staying? Because 'Cause I'm the one holding it here."
Yeah. God, I relate to that so much.
I was literally upset it wasn't leaving, but at the same time, I was holding it there
Mhm.
unconsciously.
Yeah.
And why was I unconsciously holding it there? Because I was attached to the storyline.
Yeah.
And then when I just let go of the storyline and it then removed myself and created the space, whew, I saw everything in a whole different light.
Yes, yes. Oh, that's a wonderful example. And it actually, as you were talking, it brought in a story for me, of my own example. So for the longest time, honestly, for the majority of the time that we were together, the 18 and a half years, my ex wasn't very affectionate, and my love language is touch. Like, I'm a very, very affectionate person. I'm very affectionate with my kids, and that wasn't something that I got to experience with him. And so my storyline was there's something wrong with me. Like there's a reason why he doesn't want to be physically affectionate with me, you know? And so the story that I told myself is if it was me, there was something about me. If I were different, he would want to be more physically affectionate. Maybe if I looked different or if I acted different, like it just the story that I would play round and round in my head was there was something wrong with me, and I would literally curl up in a ball on my bed and just say the most horrible things about me because, I mean, there had to be something wrong. Why else wouldn't he want to be physically affectionate with me? And that was my story for 18 and a half fucking years, Lori, until, oh my gosh, when I finally released that story, it was like this huge weight lifted and I finally realized, no, like the story that I had been telling myself was a complete fucking lie. Like none of that was true. It had nothing to do with me. And so then I began to detach from that story and tell myself a new story. And the same with you, Lori, my thing was really like boundaries. Well, I mean, obviously he's my ex, so I left I left the relationship. But like just realizing, no, I don't deserve to be treated this way, and then putting forth the boundaries and then telling myself a new story, creating a new story around what I deserve, and how worthy I am, and that none of that had anything to do with me. But I had to detach, and man, I was clinging so hard instead of getting what that was trying to teach me. I was in resistance, I was clinging, and so I unfortunately just stayed stuck in that for such a long time
Yeah.
before I found the willpower to let that go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the length of time we stay stuck in the story is how long it's gonna take to get the lesson.
Mhm.
So and the choice is ours. I mean, and again, we're all operating at our own level of awareness. So, I know for me, it took a long, 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 long time, just like you just said, 18 years for your situation.
Yeah.
But coming on the other side, it helped us see how attaching to any storyline, good or bad, can keep you from receiving the lesson that you actually set up before you came here to experience.
Mhm.
Get. And it's really challenging to get that lesson when you are attached. So let's talk about, Shanice, where we go when we're fully conscious and then now detached from those stories. So where after we've been through those stories we just shared,
Yeah.
where we go when we're fully conscious and detached from the story. And, I have, and I'm sure you've experienced this as well, have awareness that the pain is for us. Like I wasn't, when I was saying I was attached to the storyline of why me,
Mhm.
why not me? Because it was supposed to happen for me. I was supposed to have pain, and the pain was creating that for me to realize I need to set boundaries. And that's what helps me evolve.
Yeah, like, it's so funny, the pain was trying so desperately to tell me something, but I did not wanna hear it, Lori.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
I'm so stubborn sometimes.
Same, same,
Yeah.
same.
But yeah, that pain was for me. It was trying to show me something. And when I eventually listened to what it was trying to tell me, it really helped me evolve.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like removing that resistance, like I was saying, I was resisting letting go, but yet having so much pain. Like, I was holding on. I was, doing that. So when I became fully conscious and detached from the storyline, the resistance, it just let go. Like, it just removed all of that resistance, which in turn, when we go through this and become conscious and detached from our storyline, Shanice, we can go through our grief, when we are moving, things happen, people die, we lose friendships. If we're not attached to the storyline, right? If we're not so attached, we know that we're playing this temporary role as a human being. We move through grief more swiftly. It's not like we're not gonna grieve. Of course we're gonna grieve because we, played a story with this person in our life. They became close to us because we had to create this story to create this lesson. We again, back to the movie analogy. But we also have to get to that place that it's a movie. It's a movie that we're playing temporarily, and that allows us to go through the grieving, the disappointment, all of that a little more
With
gracious. Yeah, yeah, like a little just it's not as like, "Oh my god, I'm not gonna make it another day." It's like, "Okay, I gotta feel this. This doesn't feel that great." So we're still gonna feel those emotions, but they're not gonna cling and hang
Yeah.
there for life, like a
Yeah.
sentence, not a death sentence.
Yeah, and there is a purpose to the storyline, but it's just not the purpose that our ego thinks it is. We like I think you said earlier, Lori, we created the environment that we were born into, right? Our soul chose that. And that storyline we put ourselves into, we created to wake ourselves up from it. Which is exactly what happened. Like I was in that story for so long, but that was the story that woke me up and I'm like, well, wait a second, what is the story I'm telling myself? And do I like it? No. And that's what allowed me to get out of that and create something different for myself.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah, I know our ego wants to just focus on the problem.
Hmm.
Right? I
Yep.
mean, it's just so common. It's just what it does, you know? So, yeah, and I know there was that one quote that Alan Watts said, um,
Yeah.
that I think really kind of sums this up, Shanice. And he said, "You have to see the problem as the portal. And so recognize that the symptoms and stressors are meaningful and brilliantly intelligent in waking us up."
And that's exactly what they did, Lori.
Yes,
It
I
woke
same.
us up. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
there's a point to it, but we can't see the point when we're focusing on the problem as it's in the way, it's not the portal.
Yeah.
Where we're supposed to go through, it's the portal. Like, oh my gosh.
What
Ah,
an amazing perspective shift that is to see a problem as a portal instead of something that you need to run away from or fix
or get stuck
or
in.
yes,
Stuck with
exactly.
it. And just stay in it and you're stuck.
Mm.
Yeah. No, that's actually the opening.
Yes.
I love
And isn't that such a blessing? That's such a wonderful way to see it because now you're using something that was hurting you as fuel to lift you up. And I mean, talk about alchemy. That is the ultimate alchemy right there.
yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. All right. Well, Shanice, to wrap this episode up, we brought awareness to our unconscious attachments, to the roles we play and the stories that we tell ourselves.
Mhm.
We learned that detaching from our story allows us to receive the lessons our experience brings us.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That really is right there. Detaching from our story allows us to receive the lessons our experiences bring us. Beautifully said.
Yes.
If you'd like to learn more about us or check out our products and services, you can click the link in the description. And that's it for this episode. If this episode spoke to you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you think would benefit from it. And thank you guys for listening to Branching In with Shanice.
And Lori, join us for our next episode. We post on Fridays. See you then.